offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, here we are again, another day committed to being your consumer advocate, making you just a bit more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We want to have you save our number in your phone at some point. You may need it, 813-670-7372. That is our Consumer Advocate Hotline, 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
And, of course, consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors at consumerqb.com, helping you win in any marketplace. That is our goal right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. A couple of hot properties from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. 8518 Poydras is a beautiful Tampa property. This is a cul-de-sac property with no backyard neighbor. You've got a conservation lot, and this property is almost 1,800 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage at 8518 Poydras Lane in Tampa. Beautiful real estate property, and it's listed right in the mid-300s, I believe. Stainless steel, beautiful property, playground, pool, tennis courts located on site. Great opportunity to own real estate here in beautiful Tampa Bay. 1010 Bay Esplanade on Clearwater Beach, one of my favorite listings right now. It's on the north side of Clearwater Beach. You're basically in Millionaires Row right there. Beautiful property surrounded by celebrities. Great opportunity here in Tampa Bay. 1010 Bay Esplanade, owners motivated. Just did a price reduction last week. Beautifully remodeled kitchen, private sun deck that's on the third story high. You got a private apartment as well. Great opportunity to own real estate here in beautiful Tampa Bay, and a short walk to the dolphin-filled waters and sugar sands of Clearwater Beach. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. This segment is brought to you by the Bilmar Beach Resort, the beautiful Bilmar Beach Resort on Treasure Island Beach. Beautiful property. There's 2 pools on site, Sloppy Joe's Beach Bar and Restaurant, and there's a lot of cool activities going on this time of year. Standing ovations, got the big sand castles, and also a New Year's holiday celebration. Check out the Bilmar Beach Resort. Make sure you let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on those special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we got our friend Gregg BOWMAN, the AC guy of Tampa Bay. Welcome back, sir.
Thanks, Brandon. It's great to be back.
Yes, sir. Good to see you, man.
Yeah.
So it's that time of year. You got COVID-19 still. What a crazy year. And, some of these.
Yeah, it definitely has been. It's made it an interesting year for sure. But we're definitely chugging along. I think actually it's probably helped us a little bit. A lot of people, I think, are escaping the states that are locking down and coming down here. So our business is actually kind of booming a little.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like almost every home is rented. All the properties are selling. There's a 1.5 to 2 month supply of inventory. Very low inventory right now. So you're noticing that as well?
Definitely. We're busy. Yeah, no, we just closed out, a very good November for, November is typically one of our slower months, but we had a great November for usually how November is. So we're happy.
Very good. Good to hear that. And local business, supporting the local economy. This small business, that's one thing that really frustrates me with the lockdown. We're locking down businesses, we're shutting down restaurants, we're shutting down. But okay, the big boys can be open, the Lowe's, the Home Depot, you know who they are. Right. So it really hurts, it hurts the entrepreneurial spirit, the capitalist spirit, and you're an example of a great small business, small to mid-sized business right here in Tampa Bay. Your family's involved with the business. I mean, that to me, some people say the American dream is home ownership. It could also be said that the American dream is to start a business like you did, Gregg.
Yeah, definitely. I never would have imagined that when I was growing up, this is where I'd be, but I'm definitely enjoing it.
What was the high school Gregg like? What did you imagine you would be?
I don't really even remember. That was a few years ago. So I know. I mean, I actually did go to college. I was planning to be a biology teacher, so I have a degree in biology. That was what my track was until I kind of shifted gears and ended up doing this.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's cool. So it must be rewarding as well to have your family involved with the company.
Yeah, most definitely. That's probably one of my favorite parts, of it. My daughter, Jordan in particular, is real involved. We actually just had promoted her to office manager not that long ago. So, getting to work with your kids on a daily basis, I definitely think that's one of the highlights.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So the local economy here in Tampa Bay, it's, we're finding as well with, the real estate market being the way it is, it just seems... Luckily, we're an essential business, and luckily we have a great governor that's pro-business and says, hey, we're not going to lock down.
Yeah, definitely. Back in April, was it? I don't remember when it all
March,
first started.
April, it all started hitting.
Yeah, we felt very fortunate to be considered essential, when we had a lockdown the first time. So we were able to stay open through that. But now we even feel more lucky, that we've got a governor who is taking the stance he has, I haven't studied it, but my impression of it is that the rates are no different here than they are anywhere else. I really don't think it's making that big of a difference.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think there are some studies that say, you close a restaurant, okay, well, people are just going to have their own family get-togethers or even parties.
Yeah.
People are going to have their parties at their home, and they're going to transmit it that way. Yeah. And let's not forget the death rate is 0.00048 or whatever it is.
Right. Yeah.
And the average death of Americans, I believe, was 78. And the average death of COVID people are higher than that.
Right.
So anyways, off the COVID stuff, going to the technical side. By the way, if you just joined us, we're talking with Gregg BOWMAN, longtime friend of the program here, right here in Tampa Bay, local economy, the AC guy of Tampa Bay, acguyoftampa.com, acguyoftampa.com is the website. So what do you see in the industry? Are there any changes coming? How are would the election outcome potentially affect any of your parts and supply materials?
COVID affected our supply. We've actually some of our supply chains are just starting to come back. There was a real struggle, and we had to, make substitutes and vendors and things like that to find materials we needed over this year. But election, I don't think had a real, big impact on it. But definitely COVID. A lot of plants around the U.S. Shut down. Parts, supplies that come from overseas were hard to bring in, so definitely we had some supply chain issues, but we were able to, to work through them and have a really good year. We're going to close out this year probably 15% over last year.
Nice.
So in a year like this, that's a win.
It's always confusing too. Like we had, and I'm the type too. I'm not one of the numbers and digging into the detail. I'm just like the go guy. Let me go get the next deal. And I looked down, and we did something like 80-something deals this year, and I had my heart surgery, and we had COVID, of course, like 6 weeks. Nobody wanted to talk real estate at all, really, for probably 3 or 4 of those weeks. And, it was really bad for like 6 to 8 weeks. But, with all that, you're still doing over 80 deals and, getting to that, so that's a pretty good number in the real estate industry. Puts us in the top 1% of all realtors in Tampa Bay. But, cool. So glad to see that you're still growing. You're able to, and it just speaks volumes for the leadership and the systems that you have in place.
Yeah, thanks. We appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any success stories, Gregg? Anything that that might stand out over the last year where you had a client potentially, where a client story? I just love to talk about the different scenarios that play out, or maybe even something internally with the office, somebody stepping up at the office, making a deal happen, or
putting me on the spot to come up with something.
Right. Right on the spot. Tell me something. Tell me something good.
We did have a client. I think we talked about this in one of the shows earlier in the year, who actually was diagnosed with mold in their blood stream. They were extremely sick, couldn't get to the bottom of it. Had a lot of work done, and finally, after some long-term environmental testing, it was determined there was mold in the attic. And that was getting into her blood.
Wow.
So we actually went in, removed all the ductwork and everything out of the attic. Then another company came in and removed all the insulation, treated the entire attic with essentially bleach. It was, not that simple, but something to sterilize it.
Yes.
And then we went back in and put all new ductwork in, and then they blew in insulation back in. But long drawn out process, but she's healthy again. So
holy cow.
So it was a good good success story that
I'd say so.
What we're doing helps. It's not just making a house cool. Sometimes it's also contributing to somebody's health.
Talk about also on that note, and that's a great story. The effects of, I think, because some people don't really understand how much humidity plays into the whole process of removing the humidity, which is essentially vapor in the air, right? Water type vapor in the air.
Correct. Yeah. Air conditioning really does two things. It cools the air, which we call sensible cooling, which is lowering the temperature. And then we have what's called latent cooling, which is humidity removal. So it's those two things that work in concert. We want to lower the temperature, but we don't want to only lower the temperature. If we lower the temperature to 70 degrees, but it's 100% humidity, we're gonna be miserable. We're not comfortable with that. The ideal temperature range is in the mid 70s at around 50 to 55% humidity. So that's what we want to target. So an air conditioner has to be able to do both. It's not as simple, of putting just an air conditioner in a house and assuming it's going to work. It has to be sized and designed to do those two things, lower the temperature and the humidity. And there's a balancing act. You put too large of an air conditioner in, it will lower the temperature but not remove humidity. Put too small of an air conditioner in, it won't get the temperature down, but it'll remove humidity. So you got to have a balancing act of what you put in. Now they've gotten better with the air conditioners we have available to us now. We have the variable speed or the inverter-driven units now that allow us to more accurately match the load conditions of a house and do a better job of that. But humidity removal, especially here in Florida, is huge. Really plays into our comfort, but also into our health.
Right on.
High humidity results in mold. Which I'm sure with Mold Zero with Brandon Faust being on the show, he'll be able to speak to that. But high humidity is a big deal with that.
Big deal, and people don't understand. By the way, if you just joined us, we're talking with Gregg BOWMAN, the AC guy of Tampa Bay, right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. A lot of people, they are, they're living that dual, not citizenship, but dual up north and down here, right? They got this snowbird type setup. They leave and they just turn the AC off. One of the worst things you can do, right?
Definitely not a good idea to turn it completely off in Florida.
Yeah.
If you had a vacation home in Maine, okay, sure, turn it off, just set the heat or something. But
winterize it.
Right. Yeah. The humidity that will build up here will result in some serious problems. So you don't want to completely turn the air conditioner off. It's a good idea to set it at a higher temperature. Even better is to get, what we call a vacation dehumidistat, which will only allow the air conditioner to run if it needs to remove humidity, and otherwise it'll shut it off. So if you're concerned about it, you're a snowbird, you're leaving your place and you're worried about it, a vacation dehumidistat's an easy way to protect the home without running the air constantly. But you definitely don't want to just turn it off.
Now, the vacation dehumidistat, is that a separate unit that you would purchase in a standalone type thing?
Yeah, it's basically just a separate control that basically you set a humidity setting on it, and when the humidity goes above that humidity, it'll let your air conditioner run, and when the humidity's below that, it kills everything, so it shuts it off. So it's like shutting your air conditioner off when the humidity's okay, but if the humidity gets out of control, it turns it on and removes the humidity.
Okay.
So it keeps the place dry.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's a killer. That's such a problem that you find. And then, of course, we talk a little bit about maintenance here, some of the basic things that folks can do and they might overlook, because we've all heard those dreaded stories of, especially if it's the second floor, where the drip pan overflows, goes through the ceiling. What are some basic things people can do to try to protect their assets?
The most important things that a homeowner can do, or a DIY situation, is maintaining your filters, making sure they're clean. And then the second thing is that drain line, either treating the drain with bleach or vinegar, or we have a product called Total C, which is actually an environmentally friendly citrus-based product that will help maintain the drain. But anything like that being put in, because like you're saying, that if that drain clogs with a second floor unit or your air handlers in the attic and water floods and the safeties fail to do their job, you can have a real mess. But maintenance is so important. We were talking about it in the office actually this morning. That we run our air conditioners 3,000 hours a year.
Wow.
If you drive a car for 3,000 hours, you're just going 25 miles an hour. That's 75,000 miles that you'd put on a car. would you drive 75,000 miles and never stop at a service station to get that car looked at?
Right.
But a lot of people fail to think about that fact of their air conditioner. Your air conditioner is working hard for you. It's really important, to give it a little attention. That's why we have our VIP program. It's designed to, help you not have to remember it. Let us remember that your air conditioner needs taken care of. We come out twice a year and do that for you.
Yeah, I love the VIP program. We're personally signed up and personally a client of the AC guy of Tampa Bay. So what I've noticed too is when we've seen the filters after the 6 months, they're pretty dirty. So then me as the homeowner, that's where I want to say, hey, probably every 2 months I should start changing these things out myself.
Not a bad idea. Yeah, it depends on the type of filters you have. I'm pretty sure that you have, are they 1 or 2 inch filters? I don't remember off the top of my head. I'd have to check your customer
they're
file.
probably 2. I think they're
about like that. Yeah. So 6 months might be stretching it on those filters. The thicker the filter, the longer you can go. Like there's filters available that are 5 inches wide. Those we can typically make last a year, unless you've got, like I do, long-haired pets. I have a long-haired dog, so that fur gets in those filters. There's no way I'd try and make those last a year. But typically it just depends on the type of filter as to how often. But if you are noticing that when you do change the filters that they're really dirty, it's a great idea to increase the frequency of doing that. So.
Well, good stuff. Unfortunately, we got to say goodbye at this time. Gregg Bowman, the AC guy of Tampa Bay. Check him out online, acguyoftampa.com. Of course, you can find all of our expert contributors at consumerqb.com. You can see links there, and we'll put you right in touch with Gregg as well, or call the hotline. We'd love to connect with you there. Hey, Gregg, thanks so much. We appreciate you coming in. Awesome, man. All right, Brandon, Fowles coming up, Mold Zero. Going to talk about that silent killer in the home, what mold can do to your real estate properties right here coming up next. Stay with us.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here, host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, talking about Pasco County real estate, giving you your market update for all things residential real estate right here in Tampa Bay. The number of active listings in Pasco County at the end of October, 1,588 properties available for sale. Out of those 1,588, there were 1,302 that sold. You divide those two numbers, that's an 82% absorption rate in Pasco County. Very high absorption rate. And that also equals a 1.22 month supply of inventory. Super low inventory, which equals a strong seller's market here in Tampa Bay in Pasco County, as you probably already heard if you're talking to friends out in the real estate space. Brandon Rhymes here, owner of the Platinum MVP team. I would love to talk to you if you're buying, selling, or investing. We offer a free comparable market analysis. If you want to get a value on your home, give us a call, 813-670-7372. You can call or text 813-670-7372. And make sure you check out our website, platinummvpteam.kw.com. That's platinummvpteam.kw.com. And our radio show website is consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our 50-plus expert contributors for the Consumer Quarterback Show.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in any marketplace. That's our goal. A couple of hot listings here in beautiful Tampa Bay. We've got 12208 Four Oaks Road. This is a Tampa property. It's in Carrollwood. And what it is, it's a great opportunity for an operator, owner-operator, investor, developer to buy land right here in Tampa Bay. It's a 5-acre parcel, 40 units potentially could be built here at 12208 Four Oaks Road in Tampa. And a great opportunity to own real estate, build and develop right here. We know people are moving here. We know we have low inventory. We know we have low mortgage rates. Why not buy and build 12208 Four Oaks Road in beautiful Tampa Bay? All right, we got 6128 Oak Ridge Avenue in Newport Richey. This is a full acre of land on the river. So you've got a full acre, beautiful home. This is a large home as well, 4,100 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 4 bath. Beautiful property with an acre of land with a boat dock, of course. Bay access. Go fishing, go enjoy the best that the Florida lifestyle has to offer. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. Big shout out to Golf Cart Depot, one of our longtime friends of the program. Golf Cart Depot right here in Tampa Bay, also known as Discovery Golf Cars as well, kind of doing a rebranding thing. They've got a Tampa location, Clearwater location, right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. They got the Easy Go, Star EV, Cushman, pre-owned and new. You can rent or buy, and they also offer mobile repair and financing. Discovery Golf Cars. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on those special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we got B. Faust in the house. Brandon Faust, Mold Zero. Welcome back, sir.
How's it going, Brandon?
Doing well.
Good to see you, man. I'm glad that you're in the studio. Great to see you in the studio again.
Thank you much. Yeah, appreciate it. It's good to be back. Good to be getting back in the swing of things about 8 weeks post-op.
Yeah, well, you're here with us.
We're here, man.
That's the most important thing, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. Back at it. So kind of Gregg was alluding a little bit about a couple of situations. AC guy of Tampa Bay was alluding to a little bit of the mold situations, and he even mentioned that Brandon can probably talk more about that scenario, but he had a client too that had mold in their blood. I mean, we talk about mold being a silent killer, especially here in Florida. I can imagine the whole southeast of Florida and those hot areas that have that moldy, that subtropical climate. What are you seeing out there?
It's absolutely correct. And obviously with the migration from, some of these other states and these guys coming to Florida, it's a totally different scene. And they're running into it wondering, why am I feeling the way that I'm feeling?
Right.
And they're going to doctors trying to figure out, look, all of a sudden I have this continuous cough, or I have this headache that won't go away,
right,
or, whatever it may be. And it has to do with the fact that they're moving into a home that it's just part of living in Florida. You're going to wind up with, because of the condensation issues, because of the humidity issues, you're
right,
going to wind up with growth. And it is something that you actually have to take into consideration and deal with. Really, just like a spring cleaning, right? Mm-hmm. You're going to want to do a sanitization of your home. You're going to want to make sure that you're dropping those spore counts down to basically normal fungal ecology. You want it to be in a safe spot. Just because you're not seeing black mold doesn't mean that there's not a moldy situation in your home that could actually have a negative impact on your physical well-being.
Yeah, absolutely. So mold is a silent killer. We find it. We see it in different real estate properties throughout the state. I actually had it at my home, so we could talk about mine personally. A lot of our expert contributors on the show I've done business with, here in Tampa Bay, stayed at the BOWMAN Beach Resort several times. I've had Gregg BOWMAN, AC guy, kind of servicing our machinery, Brothers Easy Moving, lots of our different partners we talk about we've done business with. Now, I was hoping I didn't have to do business with you, Brandon.
No, I understand
but unfortunately, we found, we saw growth around the vents, and it was even, what really kind of solidified it in my mind that it was an object growing is that it came from one of the vents on top of my punching bag. I had a black punching bag in the gym where I would work out. I had my Peloton there, but you could see it readily available on that punching bag. And to me, in my mind, I'm like, wow, okay, that solidifies it as.
And that's completely the way that it goes. You wind up, it gets going in the ducts, right? Because you have that cold air hitting the warm air,
yes,
right? And it really starts growing in the actual plenum. And then before you know it, the ducts sweat, and then you end up having a situation where there's growth. Then you start to see it manifesting on the vents. A lot of people think that it's dirt or it's dust, and it's actually a particular type of mold. It's called cladosporium, and it's an allergenic mold. Now, with that said, it may not always be cladosporium. There might be other growth, but it tends to start developing the scenario where other mold can grow on it too, because it starts to colonize. And then you start seeing not just cladosporium, but Aspergillus penicillium. So you get that buildup starting to occur, and now it's airborne, And then you start to see it happening on physical objects. And if your AC isn't working the way that it should, and that might have to do with mold growth, it's not going to be as effective. You're going to end up with humidity levels that aren't at the right spot.
Yep.
And as soon as you start going over 60%, and if that's continuous and it's not drying out, you're going to start seeing growth on shoes, on leather punching bags, on jackets, etc. But you're really past the point you want to be once you actually start seeing it physically manifesting, because those spores, they're microscopic. You can see, you can fit 10 of them on the tip of a hair.
Wow.
So you should only be able to see them on a microscope. So if you're actually able to see it with the naked eye, you're really past the point you want to be. Now, of course, you can go, well, mold, we get mold on bread. It's not a big deal.
Let's take a quick break here. We're going to be right back. Brandon Faust, Mold Zero here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, stand by. We'll get started.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in your real estate deals, no matter if you're buying, selling, or investing. Let the real estate experts here in Tampa Bay work with you. Certified negotiation experts on the team, feng shui certified interior design experts, top 1% ranked real estate team here in Tampa Bay, with some really hot listings that we've got here. Beautiful properties in Tampa Bay. 1780 Clearwater Largo Road. This is a commercial property. Attention business owners looking for a great deal. This is only $200,000, and you got a corner lot location in Tampa Bay, almost 2,400 square feet, 5,300 lot size, corner lot location, 2 garage doors, so you got the bay doors where you can back your equipment and machinery in there, office storefront, 40 to 50,000 vehicles a day driving by. This is in Pinellas County for just over $200,000. Beautiful property. Check out the beautiful drone photography there, compliments of Fabre Frameworks. You're on a very busy intersection. 1780 Clearwater Largo Road in Tampa Bay. How about 213 Dogwood Circle? This is a beautiful condo, 55-plus community in Pinellas County, and the owner has spared no expense. He did a beautiful remodel upgrade on the inside, 1,285 square feet, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car covered carport right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And a quick shout out to Replenish IV Solutions, our friends Stephen and Lisa Gunnan over at Replenish IV Solutions, longtime friends of the program. They're going to offer you a vitamin infusion drip. They make house calls, or they can come to your office. They also are located on Gandy Boulevard. They've got a location in Carrollwood off of Bears. And they also have a Wesley Chapel location. Make sure you let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. All right, Brandon Faust in studio, Mold Zero, moldzero.com. In local business, again, another example, local economy, supporting the local companies here in Tampa Bay. I love supporting local companies. You know that money's going to flow right back into our own back pocket in our little culture here. That we have.
A little eco bubble.
Eco bubble, yes.
Right. I mean, it's something that's interesting. I was actually just looking at the numbers, but you have a company like my company. We have almost 30 employees now, right? And each one of those guys is feeding on average anywhere from 3 to 5 people.
Good point.
Right?
Yes, exactly.
And it really does a tremendous amount when you support local-owned, family-run businesses. And it's been a really interesting year for a lot of people, and it wasn't easy for us right after everything kind of went on lockdown.
Yeah.
We've now recovered, I think, past the point where even to where before COVID hit, which is great, but not everybody is experiencing the same sort of fortunate outcome.
Yeah.
But we really should support local-owned companies. I
Absolutely
totally agree with that.
Yeah, and support the right side of the politicians that support the no lockdown policies as well. Right?
I could talk all day with you off air on that one, but
I know.
So
I wanted to ask you a question too.
Yeah.
So we kind of walked through my scenario where we went in, we treated, you fumigated or sprayed.
Yeah, we did a dry fog. So
Dry
it's
fog.
basically the particulates are so tiny that they don't splatter. So the furniture and all that stuff, as you most likely saw, there was no damage done to any of the electronics, anything in the home.
Yeah.
But it lingers long enough, and the product eats away the outer shell of the mold spore, and then the hydrogen peroxide oxidizes what's inside. So it destroys the mold spore.
So now the next step would be what we're doing as well. So you're going to we're installing these machine UV type.
Exactly. So you have different devices that scientifically have systems where they purify the air. Okay, and in this case, what you're doing, you have ionization machines, ozone machines, different types of systems that can actually, they're whole home purifiers. So what I would recommend is you drop the levels down, you clean up what's there, and then you have the equipment to help maintain those healthy levels for a longer period of time, so that we don't have to come back out the next year. Maybe we can come back out 2 or 3 years from now just to drop those levels down again. Right, so because mold is going to grow, and you're going to have condensation issues. So it is one of those things that you just have to understand. It's part of living in Florida. Keep your home clean, keep your air clean, and don't just do the duct cleaning because you will disturb what's there. You want to do the whole home treatment. And just because you're not seeing black mold, which is the technical term for it is Stachybotrys, just because you're not seeing that around every single wall, doesn't mean that you don't have a situation that can cause a health impact.
Yeah, exactly. We're talking with Brandon Faust here, Mold Zero, and I think where some of our problem came as well is the garage is so close to that air handler, and then that door, you open it up, and that's where the gym is. So that was probably where our origin started from.
Yeah, completely. You have the hot, humid air, and we see it in the garages a lot, also with the ACs in the attic.
Yes.
It's more of an issue. When it's actually, it's kind of funny how each scenario poses its own problem, because you can actually have an AC unit in the house, and it's in a closet, and if it doesn't have proper ventilation, right, that AC unit is dropping to certain temperatures. It's freezing those coils, and it's making the walls around it cold, so then you get condensation there. So then you get the hot air from the attic, and then you get the coldness from the AC unit, and you get like moisture buildup in one particular location. And then you see a lot of mold growth in that spot.
Yep.
And that's where the AC is located. Well, those ACs aren't totally airtight, and those mold spores are really microscopic, so they get into the actual system, and before you know it, it's around the entire home.
Wow.
So each scenario, like the one in the garage, obviously plays a role for sure. That hot, humid air, the AC unit. So it's just a matter of staying on top of it, using the equipment that we sell, other AC companies sell, to drop those levels, and then doing a whole home sanitization. Honestly, I would recommend doing it, every 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's important. One of the things also I thought about doing is you see it. People will add into their garage. They will add that some kind of a insulation on the front, because my garage is facing the sun almost all day.
Correct.
So it's got that exposure. So that might keep a little of the heat out of the garage, which will hopefully affect and slow that whole process you just described.
Absolutely. The temperature differential is a key thing to stay on top of, right? And that's why the insulation is important, so that you're not having the cold against the hot, and there being such a difference that you wind up hitting basically dew point.
Yes.
Because as soon as you hit that dew point level where the actual, it's just like when you take, let's say, a cold beer out of the fridge, right?
Right.
And before you know it, it's sweating. Or you
Yes.
put an ice cube in a glass, and now all of a sudden it's dripping. It's the same thing. It's a temperature differential, and you're going to wind up with that condensation. And that's really all that mold needs is water, nutrients, and oxygen for it to start growing. And those spores are little tiny seeds. So once they have the nutrients and the water and the oxygen, then they can start actually colonizing and growing.
And you do you offer free inspections or consultations for our listeners?
Absolutely. We do free estimates. They can call the office at 727-900-7202. We have great office staff that will get them on the schedule. We'll send out our estimators. They'll take a look at everything. Really, first place I'm looking when I walk into a home is the vents. That's the first place I'm looking.
Right.
And then I'm looking in the window seals, and I'm looking under sinks, and I'm looking under, places where you're going to have moisture. And you see the color, right, and you see some sort of water damage, right, you're going to look at that and go, okay, yeah, maybe we want to jump on that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, always a pleasure. Brandon Faust, Mold Zero, moldzero.com. 727-900-7202 is a direct number. 727-900-7202, direct number, moldzero.com. Brandon, thanks so much.
My pleasure, Brandon. Always
great knowledge.
To see you.
Appreciate it, man. All right. Coming up, we've got Ramin Kazami, Heights Soft Wash. Find out about how you can make your real estate properties really look good, especially when you're bringing in that photographer for the first time. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here, owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show with your residential update for Pinellas County, Florida. This is the latest numbers from the Real Estate Board. The active listings, the number of active listings in Pinellas County at the end of October was 3,510 active real estate properties, and that's residential listings. Now, if we come down and we look at the sales, 2,120 of those 3,500 properties sold, and that divided by, is it going to equal a 60% absorption rate right here, which is a pretty high absorption rate in Pinellas County. And if we divide that by 100, that's giving us a 1.67 months supply of inventory. It's a strong seller's market, as you probably already know and heard here in Tampa Bay. So Pinellas County is a hot real estate market here in Tampa Bay. If you're buying, selling, or investing, Brandon Rhymes here, my wife Lindsay and I own and operate the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We offer a free comparable market analysis, and we can also help you improve credit. We have credit experts, mortgage experts. Would love to talk to you. 813-670-7372. 813-670-7372. And our website is platinummvpteam.kw.com. That's platinummvpteam.kw.com.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense. and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in your real estate deals. If you're buying, selling, or investing, we would love to talk to you. And we've got a great team. We're actually recruiting right now, looking for a few key positions with our real estate business. So reach out. We'd love to talk to you on the website, platinummvpteam.kw.com and consumerqb.com as well. And we've got Ramin Kazami here in studio as well. Heights Soft Wash coming up right here in just a moment. Before we do, I want to let you know about a couple of hot real estate listings. 8518 Poydras Lane here in Tampa. Poydras Lane is on a cul-de-sac home, beautiful property, and you've got a conservation backyard. So no backyard neighbor. You've got both sides. You got two neighbors on each side, but just a great property, beautiful property. 1,700 plus square feet, 3-2, two-car garage, stainless steel, beautiful property. Check out our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
And also our feel-good story of the day coming up. Brothers Easy Moving. Shout out to Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives. Brothers Easy Moving, local or long-distance moves. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. All right, every day we're going to tell you a feel-good story of the day. Feel-good story coming at you.
Tell me something good.
Okay, man releases free Amazon for buying local tool that lets customers shop local businesses, small businesses. A man in Seattle has created an internet browser plugin that is making it easier for small online retailers to compete with Amazon. Jonathan Sandals is the founder of Sook, S-O-O-K, which emerged from his realization that due to the pandemic closures, he had no easy way to shop at his favorite local businesses. If I wanted to buy a jacket in Ballard or Seattle, I would have to visit 20 individual websites for small business rather than shopping for them in one place. It becomes of this problem that the small businesses we love are getting eaten alive by larger corporate retailers who are one-stop shop. So he created Sook, a Google Chrome extension that aggregates products listings from numerous small stores' websites in one place and makes it easier to browse online and buy from multiple boutique next door. While Seattle is a launch city, Sook is growing rapidly and is now in more than 20 major cities, including Portland, New York, Chicago, Miami, Los Angeles, and more. Sandals believes supporting local business is now more important than ever, and so do I. That's a great point. Sook also works if a user is shopping on a bigger site such as Amazon by letting the shopper know, hey, it looks like you're looking for shirts. These are some similar products in your neighborhood. If you're a business owner, you can sign up for Sook for free. I love that story. I absolutely love that story. Any comment on that, Ramin? Something like that. I mean, that seems like a pretty cool. Let's support the local businesses, right?
It is, yeah, definitely. It's always good to see something like that come about here from the local community.
Technology based too, because so many people are on their phones and pulling up, shopping and stuff. But cool. We got Ramin Kazami in studio. Heights Soft Wash, heightssoftwash.com. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, my pleasure.
It's good to see you.
Absolutely. And we were introduced by Fabre Framework. Sean Fabre, shout out to Fabre Frameworks, all your best real estate photography, drone photography, Matterport walkthroughs. They do such a great job over there, too.
Yeah, it's always good to have photographers as your best friends.
That's right.
When you're in the pressure washing business or the real estate business.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about your business and what you're doing to help homeowners out there.
Yeah, so we're a local pressure washing, soft washing business. We take care of all the mold and mildew from the exterior of your property and the bugs, dirt daubers, all those spider webs, all those things. We come out to your home and we give your house or any surface you have, we give it a good cleaning and brighten it up and help preserve your hardscape or your paint job or your stucco, your brick pavers, whatever surface you may have that needs to be cleaned.
Yeah, driveways, fences, all the above. That, and it just makes the home pop, especially online. You know, you talk about the shopping habits of consumers now. You know, 99% or 95% of online or buyers shop online. I mean, they start online. And so when you're looking at those pictures, how important is it to have that front view, that just a beautiful photography? And sometimes you have that drone shot. I had sent you one of my properties lately. It has that drone shot of the driveway looking so bad. I said, we got to get Ramin over there.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference because it makes the house shine and it helps represent the house for what it is. So, it's good to peel back those layers of the onion and show the true beauty of the home or the building, whatever it may be.
Yeah. Now, sometimes in the past, I've had clients say, yeah, but last time I did that, they killed all my plants. You have safeguards in place to not do that.
Correct. Yes. One of the first things we do is we always come in and we wet everything down. Give it a good rinse. That way we keep everything moist, and then we apply our water-based solution with our soaps, our detergents that help kill the mold and the bacteria, which gives the surface a nice cleaning. So that way, when we leave, it also helps to last. So you're not calling back for a cleaning in another couple of months.
Yeah, absolutely. We're talking with Razim Kazami here, Heights Soft Wash, heightssoftwash.com. And what it also does for the real estate properties, it helps you get higher dollars. You're going to be on the market for less time. It's going to show that the house is not just one of these houses that has deferred maintenance. You look at a property and you see it dirty, you see mold. You say, man, how much does the owner really care for this property? So you see that happen as well.
Correct. Yeah. Actually, in the last week or two, I don't know if it's an odd scenario or not, but I've got 2 phone calls. The insurance companies were demanding that they have their house washed because there's mold and mildew built up on the wall, a couple feet up the side of the wall, and the insurance company is threatening to cancel the policy because there's mold and mildew growing on the exterior of the home. So that's something new to me that I didn't know. I don't know if it's something new in the insurance.
Right. It might be in the policy.
Correct.
Hey, if you have X amount of deferred maintenance, if you have these scenarios, we've talked about mold a lot on this show. We had Brandon Faust with Mold Zero on talking about how mold can get into the air vents. And then also even Gregg, BOWMAN, the AC guy of Tampa Bay, had mentioned how he had a client that was sick and they tested everything and they figured out, wow, it's actually the mold in the air that you're breathing got into their bloodstream. So mold on the inside or outside of the home is a silent killer. It can cause some major problems.
Yeah, down here in Florida, we have a lot of humidity and moisture, and it's just a breeding ground for bacteria and mold, and there's nothing really we can do to prevent it, but just to stay on top of it and continue to keep your home interior and exterior clean.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's one of those things too where it just shows owner pride. Ownership pride. It's going to show through.
It does. Whenever we do a job, every single time somebody on the street always stops us and, they say hi or they say, oh, that makes a huge difference. I live down the road. Can you come take a look at my house? Can you do my driveway?
Yeah.
So it's a very contagious thing. But also on top of that, too, it helps keep the community to a standard. So you're not decreasing the value of your neighbor's home because, your house has mold and mildew all over the side of it.
Yeah.
Or your driveway is full of, of mold and mildew as well too.
Yeah, it makes sense to do it. It's one of those things where you're going to be improving the property, and it's a scenario where homeowners should do it. It should be one of your things that you do. And then it's a great time to seal. To seal the tile, to seal the grout. Right? Have you had any? I know I need to do my house. I need to seal some of those patios, the tile back there.
Yeah, we're getting out of the rainy season. Even though I think it's supposed to rain tomorrow, so these are the times that people start to schedule those things, and paver sealing is one of them because you have to have weather cooperate with you in order to seal your your pavers because you can't have rain raining on top of the project, and
right.
So it's a timely thing. But this time of year, we have a lot of snowbirds coming down, or they've been down here, for a little bit now, and their house, they're coming back to the greens and the blacks on the sides of their house and in the cracks of their brick pavers.
Yeah.
So it's a time for those projects to take place.
Yeah, great time to do it. Heightssoftwash.com. Razim Kazami here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And just kind of a reminder with our show, what we did is we set this show up 7 years ago now as a consumer advocate-based program. And we've got over 50 different show partners, attorneys, CPAs, financial advisors, different types of attorneys, different specializations in law, lots of home services, people that you may not hear on the show every day, but they're working for us. They're on the team. They're out there. For example, like Jay Smith, a Snoop inspection. He's going to check out your home as far as a 4-point inspection goes, help you with those scenarios. But the show is set up so that we can kind of cover all of those different areas of business and life and things that you may come into contact on a daily basis or a monthly basis where things happen. So we want to help you as your consumer advocate, and we would love to have you think of our show as your consumer advocate and the hub of the financial and business wheel that you have. So save our hotline number in your phone at some point. We'd love to talk to you. Any comments, concerns, questions with the show, give us a call on the hotline, 813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline. You can call or text as well. Sometimes we even have offers where people can make offers. So we do have some different offers. For example, credit. If you want to improve your credit, William Crowley, the credit magician, can help you do that. You can text in for a credit package. Just text the word credit to our hotline, credit package, or even pre-approvals with Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage. One of the biggest key components of getting the right real estate deal is dealing with the pre-approval process, having proof of funds. So there's a lot of ways that we can help you here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And Ramin is one of the latest examples of an addition to our team where we're helping improve the process for the real estate side, helping you understand how to have the best photography session when you do bring in Fabre Frameworks. So final words, final thoughts, Ramin, parting words of wisdom, nuggets of advice.
Just to keep moving forward. It's keep growing. It's a new year is coming. This year has been a weird year for a lot of people in general. So I'm looking forward to 2021 myself. And that's about it. Yeah.
Getting the goal setting, finding out, hey, here's what my business did last year. We want to grow 15%, 20, 30, 50%. We want to grow 100%. How much more growth do we want to have from what we did last year? Set those goals. And I'll talk about the law of probabilities here on the show. So the law of probabilities is going to talk about there's certain scenarios and certain procedures that you can set up in your business, in your life, that if you do, you're going to have that much more probability of winning. Some people call it luck. Some people call it strategy. But the law of probability states that if you have those scenarios in place and you also model an expert, Tony Robbins, all the best, they talk about modeling an expert. If you can model what they're doing, implement that in your business or in your life, then you're going to have the shortcut to success, and you're going to compress decades into days by doing that. So there's our consumer advocate tips. I want to thank Bill Maher Beach Resort, Golf Cart Depot, Brandon Faust, Razim Kazami, as well as Gregg Bowman, the AC guy of Tampa Bay, for the show today. And as we always say, we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. We'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online at Brandon Rhymes1 on Instagram and Twitter, Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams Realty, and the Consumer Quarterback Show page on Facebook and Parler. See you next time.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.